Okay, so you sent this over about BitcoinOS, the next Bitcoin revolution.
Yeah.
Pretty bold title.
Uh-huh.
Today, we're diving deep on this BitcoinOS, EOS,
Right.
what it is, what it could mean for Bitcoin and the whole crypto space.
Right.
They make a big claim right off the bat. Bitcoin block 853626 changed everything, and they're calling this the Internet of Value.
Yeah. No, it is a bold statement for sure.
It is bold.
Yeah.
So let's start with the big picture here. What is this all about?
I think the core idea is really fascinating. They're presenting BOS as like a ZK-powered operating system for building everything on Bitcoin.
Okay.
So it's not just about like sending and receiving Bitcoin anymore. It's like, imagine like significantly expanding what you can actually do with Bitcoin.
Right.
And doing it all like right on top of Bitcoin's really secure foundation.
So you're talking about a whole new set of capabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
And to do that, they're using things like rollups and true L2s.
Right.
They mentioned BitSnark and Grail for these Bitcoin rollups.
Uh-huh.
So what exactly is a rollup in this context for someone who might not be super familiar with all that technical jargon?
Sure. So basically imagine you're taking a bunch of Bitcoin transactions
Okay.
and rolling them all up, right, into like a single, more efficient transaction.
I see.
That then gets recorded on the main Bitcoin blockchain.
Okay.
But the actual like details of all those transactions,
Right.
those are handled like off-chain in a more scalable kind of environment.
Okay.
What's really interesting about BOS's approach, though, is their emphasis on three key aspects.
Okay.
So first, you're paying gas fees in BTC. Second, the security is inherited directly from that main Bitcoin network. And third, they're promising trustless bridging of BTC to and from these rollups.
Interesting.
And, you know, achieving truly trustless bridging, that's a really complex challenge from an engineering perspective. So the specific mechanisms that they're using, those are going to be crucial to really evaluate.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They also mentioned programmable tokens, and it sounds like they're saying these are going to be a lot more functional than stuff we've seen already, like runes and BRC20.
Yeah.
They're aiming for tokens with built-in asset-centric logic. So are we talking about things like decentralized exchanges being built right there on these Bitcoin-based programmable tokens?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the kind of expanded functionality they're going for.
Okay.
Like being able to customize staking, governance, even issuance of these tokens across different blockchains,
Wow.
all stemming from Bitcoin. That could unlock a lot of new applications.
Right.
And, you know, this ability to actually build more complex functionalities, that naturally leads to the question of how these like Bitcoin-based assets and applications are going to actually interact with the wider crypto world.
Right.
This brings us to their idea of unified ecosystems.
Okay, so unified ecosystems,
Wow.
they talk about these BAWS slam nodes aiming to create a smoother, more seamless multi-chain experience. Again, using ZK for security, it's like they're trying to connect everything together.
I think what's really fascinating here is the potential to solve a big pain point in crypto,
Yeah.
which is that friction you get when you're trying to move between different blockchains.
Yeah.
If BOS can actually simplify these interactions
Right.
and give people a more unified view of their assets and their activity across chains,
Yeah.
that could really improve like user experience and adoption.
Yeah. That'd be huge.
Yeah, for sure.
They also bring up covenants.
Yeah.
These conditional payments on Bitcoin. So what does that mean, and what kind of new possibilities does it create?
It's basically like, think of it like setting up an automatic payment,
Okay.
but with like extra conditions.
Yeah.
Like the money only goes through if certain pre-agreed things happen,
I see.
like if a digital key is provided or something like that.
Interesting.
So this allows for things like trust minimized lending or really secure vault mechanisms right there on the Bitcoin network
Wow.
without needing separate intermediaries.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then there's trustless bridging, which they call the holy grail technology. Why
Yeah.
is that such a big deal?
Well, I mean, if Bitcoin can actually interact with other blockchain ecosystems
Right.
in a truly trustless way, it could really solidify its position as like the foundational layer for the entire crypto space.
Interesting.
It could be like a secure settlement layer
Yeah.
for a much wider range of assets and applications.
Wow.
So when they talk about Bitcoin block 853626 changed everything, and this internet of value, this trustless bridging capability, that's a core component of that whole vision.
They also talk about scalability solutions, aiming for a much faster and cheaper transactions than we see on Bitcoin's base layer.
Right, and I think that's really crucial for wider adoption.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's original design, it just wasn't built for these like high-volume, low-cost transactions.
Yeah.
These scalability optimized layer 2s,
Yeah.
those are essential for making Bitcoin more usable for everyday things, right, within this big ecosystem that they're building.
And finally, there's private transactions, where they really emphasize privacy through their rollups.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in today's world, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Focus on privacy is definitely important as more financial activity moves to blockchains. Having ways to protect people's information, their financial information,
Right,
that's
right.
really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So to kind of sum it all up,
sure.
BitcoinOS wants to be this ZK-powered operating system
Right.
built on Bitcoin, promising a more functional, more unified, more scalable crypto experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Considering everything we've talked about, I mean, what new possibilities could we see for Bitcoin and decentralized applications
Right.
if these claims about BitcoinOS turn out to be true?
Yeah,
It really is
it's exciting.
it's exciting to think about.
For sure.
It gives you a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth checking out their white paper or, jumping into their community channels to learn more about it.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. And we'll see you next time.
Looking forward to it.